Say it again.
Zach Jones.
Melissa Mack.
And a lot has happened since our first podcast. But first on our agenda is a big kudos to Serena Williams for being the first female athlete to Forbes magazine's richest self-made women's list.
You go, girl.
Yeah. Zach, my boy.
Oh, I thought we was going to see a picture.
No.
So, you know, we definitely can't forget my girl, Caribbean maid, Rihanna, and her accomplishment as the world's richest female musician. You know, definitely big for black people, so you already know. You know, surpassing Madonna, whose net worth is $570 million, and Celine Dion, valued at $450 million. Also, how could I forget Beyonce at $400 million? So,
big ups, girl. I'm about to get my Fenty bra right now.
It's great.
Rihanna killing them. Killing the game.
Yeah, but that's Serena Williams. Where's that Rihanna picture?
Oh,
yes, look at her.
Fenty legend right there.
With the lipstick and all. You better go ahead, girl.
That's why she got them coins.
So Rihanna tops the list at $600 million, and her success can be credited to her fashion empire as well as her musical expertise.
Man, people forget that Chris Brown was part of that career, you know what I'm saying?
Was he?
Hey, Chris Brown brought them numbers in early, you know what I'm saying? Chris Brown.
Was he really?
He did. He brought the numbers for each other early. Back in the day, Chris Brown was the GOAT. I'm talking, he would have been on track to be the greatest of all time.
He ain't had nothing to do with Rihanna.
He's still top five. Chris Brown's still top five.
I mean, but why do we have to have a conversation about Chris Brown when we're talking about Rihanna?
I know.
Let's
but
give the girl her props.
600 mil. Ooh,
Clearly.
at the beginning, the jump.
She did that. It's okay. We're not talking about Chris right now. He'll have his shine later. But speaking of money, we had a special election June 4th. This election, we voted for special measures. Specifically, we voted on EE, and that was a resounding no, with 54% of voters voting to deny Measure E. Measure E would have given LAUSD extra funds. A lot of proponents of the bill are saying that they already have enough money to support the students in the district. What do you guys think?
It's never enough money in the schools. Like, I don't know. I feel like what do you think?
I feel like at the end of the day that we don't value education as much nowadays either. So it's kind of different. It's like, especially taxpayers, they look at all the things you can spend money on. I think the last thing you really care about is education or something like that. Like, it's kind of weird. It's like,
it goes back to how much teachers get paid. They're teaching everything.
Right, exactly. And it's tough because we think about it, all right, like, education really matters. We want smart kids in our future and stuff like that. But I feel like kids just pick up on stuff. Like, the smartest kids don't really learn as much in school. They learn, like, through their friends, just, like, how to be savvy and get money. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's kind of weird that the landscape's changed so much, especially with social media and, like, all the different ways that people are making money nowadays. So it's like, I don't know. It's like out of all the problems in the world, they got so many to prioritize over, you know, schools.
But then they still make education a requirement for a lot of jobs.
Yeah, but listen though, education is important because at the end of the day, yeah, you have kids that kind of learn from each other and piggyback off each other, but they had to learn that from somewhere.
Right.
Teachers parents really create a culture where kids want to go out, they want to learn, they want to do more, and then that's passed on. But when you don't have those teachers and you don't have those parents pushing kids to learn more, to do more, to develop those critical thinking skills, then we're in trouble as a nation.
Right. Yeah.
Because you don't have the generation coming up behind this generation right now, they don't know what they need to know, especially in this world that is developing really rapidly as far as technologies goes. Then it's like, what?
I think it's just like balancing like the street knowledge. Like that's what you were really saying. You know what I'm saying? You learn from experience, which is, to me, that's the best form of education. But I wouldn't say it trumps like going to school, you know.
But I feel like just when it comes to taxpayer dollars.
No, that's true. That's true.
Roads,
like, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's
buildings,
true. That's
homeless people. I mean, schools.
I'm just talking about education.
Survival of the fittest at that point. You know what I mean?
So you think they don't need it?
I mean, I think the dogs, the kids that are really like hungry, are gonna get it. But the other kids, they're not gonna care. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of pushing for that. It's always been kind of a thing in America, though. It's like survival of the fittest. You know,
I think it's what they're teaching in school though. But
Right.
You're still teaching like.
But you see kids, public
You know what I'm
schools.
saying?
Some kids just really make use of it. Some kids don't. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kinda
if you teach people like how to manage money and that
Right.
type of stuff in school, and this is what they're putting the money into, like you know,
Right.
new programs on that end. But if they're just,
So the
doing the
thing is,
same
they're
old,
not
same
putting the money in the right places.
I mean, they've never been, because you don't teach kids stuff like that.
Right.
You know, so you come out of college like full of debt, you don't know what to do.
Right.
You know, what I'm
student
saying?
loans, Sally Mae
Right.
be making them calls too.
But
Like,
still,
excuse
I
me,
wouldn't be
ma'am,
where I
where's
am.
my
I
$500
mean,
a
I
month?
personally think they should teach kids how to day trade in first grade. You know what I mean? Like that'd be brilliant. You know what I mean? But they
Okay.
don't,
Sharpening
you know.
crayons.
Right.
You know,
Right.
whatever I can do.
Learn how to
Right.
spell your name.
The crayons, I don't want to pay for those. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was a taxpayer, I would say crayons. I don't know. I don't need those. I mean, musical instruments. I mean, you do enough stuff, work your money,
I
get
think
your
that's
own
the
instrument.
issue, though. If everybody's thinking like that, then that's why they're not getting the money that they need.
Yeah, exactly. I
But
think,
it's not even about not
But
getting
they-
the money that they need. I feel like the most taxpayers, where they're coming from, is LAUSD is mismanaging the money that they do have.
Well, that's different.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because when you think about it, the people way at the top that are not in the classrooms, they're getting paid all these multiple figure salaries,
Right.
while the teachers are getting paid pennies, and then what's left over is going up to the kids. So
Right.
if you kind of shake up that way of thinking and that way of doing in LAUSD, you would have money for the things that are really important to educate the kids. But because people are greedy and they look at this as solely a business, you know,
Yeah.
that's how you get it.
Exactly.
Well, so since we're off of that, moving on to voting, since that was a vote that was passed, did you know that nearly 50,000 voters are prevented from casting a ballot in California each year? The Assembly Constitutional Amendment 6, called Free the Vote Act, was introduced earlier this year by California Assembly members to bring the issue of felony disenfranchisement to the ballot 2020.
What's your guys' take on that?
Let them vote.
Well,
Let them vote.
no, I'm saying, I mean, this is the amendment that John Legend is supporting, and basically, yeah, nice little post right there.
Uncle John.
Uncle John, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, basically, he's taking an active role in solidifying the right to vote for California parolees. Basically, they're not allowed to vote, you know what I'm saying, right now, so that's really what this is about.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, to me, the amount of people who go in, you know what I'm saying, got locked up for things that they didn't do and still come out and are not allowed to vote, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think it's fair. And I don't think just because somebody's locked up, you know, they should go back to being a slave, you know, so.
I don't think they're being a slave. They can't vote.
Nah,
it's technically a right, though.
I'm talking about, yeah, that's actually a thing. Like, you get locked up, you're basically a slave.
That's
And then
crazy.
when you think
Yeah.
about after slaves were free, you still were considered half a human, and you still couldn't vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you served your time, you did what you were supposed to do, so you know, to pay your debt to society, and then it's kind of like we're still holding this thing over your head. Because what's the difference between an inmate getting out of jail, serving his time, and then someone that is really ignorant about the issues and them voting?
Yeah.
I think it's.
I mean,
it's one
the
of those
inmate is not
things, though, like-
necessarily ignorant either.
I
so.
think lately there's been a lot of stuff about freeing prisoners and stuff like that too. Like as that like awareness has gone up, I feel like more people have talked about this stuff. But I don't know. It's like I feel like it's one big like scam to just get like more voters on that side. You know what I'm saying? Like to draw voters out.
Nah,
Like-
I think the thing is it's widely disproportionate in terms of who is in jail.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's definitely,
Absolutely.
it's definitely like 70% black
Yeah,
people in jail.
absolutely.
That's let me not
lot
throw
of-
out figures.
yeah.
I don't like doing that. But
It's a
I'm
lot
just
of
saying it's the
unfairness,
majority black people in jail. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I said, 13th Amendment, when people go into jail, you're stripped of all your rights.
Yeah.
So
Right.
right now people are in jail working for $0, you know,
Yeah.
it's little to nothing, picking cotton still.
Yeah.
We talking about
They
slavery.
are actually like.
But
You
when
talking
you
about
get out,
slavery,
you're
like, when you-
expected to be back
like,
as
when
a
you-
regular
yeah,
citizen.
but you
Right.
can't vote.
Chattel.
You don't
That's what you are.
So the same people that are putting these amendments and these laws in place that are causing certain things to be going on.
Right.
You can't change that because you go into the system. Like I said, majority black people, and you come on, you have no say in it.
Right.
You know, and like I said, majority black people in, majority white people out. So what do you think?
Yeah. That's
know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Yeah. But it's unfair. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. Like,
That's how it's always been, though.
Yeah,
Even when they used to
exactly.
try to give you literary tests back in the day, like when
Right.
Jim Crow laws were in effect, just
Yeah.
to keep people from voting. It's just whatever they can do to keep a certain population from voting.
Straight.
yeah.
You gotta keep that knee on your neck.
Crazy. But yeah. I'm also glad that we're talking about voting though, like, so you know that Trump has spent over $5 million on Facebook ads to reach his predominantly white supremacist voters or supporters and try and gain votes as we speak. Unfortunately, these ads have painted certain groups of people as unsavory and dangerous, thus promoting racism and even hatred. Here's what Trump had to say when a reporter accused him of promoting xenophobic, offensive ads intended to instill fear as a vehicle to intimidate his supporters to come out to the polls.
Good old 40.
Mr. President, several of the networks have declined to run your immigration ads that you posted last week, saying that it was potentially too racist. Do you have a response to that?
I don't know about it. I mean, you're telling me something I don't know about. We have a lot of ads, and they certainly are effective based on the numbers that we're seeing.
Well, Mr. President, a lot of people said that ad was offensive. Why did you like that ad? What were you trying to
Well, a
say?
lot of things are offensive. Your questions are offensive a lot of times, so, you know.
President, what about the idea?
Truth tells.
That's our president.
He's 45 to me. I don't That's a good old 45. He's gonna do what we all know that he was gonna do when he got in office. He's gonna promote hate, and I don't even really. It might not be what he necessarily believes as a human, but whatever's gonna get him influence and power, and that's what he's after, really. Whatever's gonna get him influence and power, notoriety, popularity, he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
He's
It's
gonna
just
do
something
it.
on his bucket list.
Well, he's
Like,
got
I'm
he's
gonna
got
be
to talk
president.
to who his target demographics of donors are. If it,
Racist.
his
What they
donors
want, yeah.
control
White supremacy.
donors
Yeah.
control strings. You know,
Nah,
I mean
he's-
that's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes he might not actually be that terrible, but he says things just for the donors to get
Right.
their cash. you
I don't
what
know,
mean?
bro.
Like,
I don't know. You
crazy.
got to be a certain level of terrible.
he's a
to
little
do
terrible.
yeah, well, politicians are all everybody's
that's
dirty.
definitely-
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true,
Like,
bro.
Look,
But
I
he-
don't feel like Barack Obama, my president forever, was
I
dirty.
just pulled off Obama Boulevard.
I'm
Listen.
just saying. I don't think he was dirty.
I think they all do.
No comment.
Both sides.
I mean, it's yeah,
I've given up on
but
that.
they ain't doing what
Yeah,
Trump
yeah.
doing.
I mean,
Yeah.
exactly.
I tell you what. He a bad person, but he funny.
Trump.
Yeah, he funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
a character.
He's a
naturally-
bad person.
I mean, he's disgusting, but he's
He
like,
makes me
very
laugh.
funny, yeah.
The OG.
'Cause you just listen to him laugh. I don't think he's trying to be funny. I mean, not laugh, talk. I don't think he really trying to be funny, but he's like hilarious.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's
You know
so
what I'm
serious, actually.
Yeah.
What he's saying, he's dead serious. And he's like, this is a joke.
Like,
Are you
oh,
for
yeah.
like,
No,
what?
did you hear him though? He said, we have a lot of ads.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what's in them. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what?
Why don't you know?
You don't know.
Right?
Well, that's a low totem pole job though. The ads. You think
Nah,
that
he just funny. I mean, like he
Yeah.
just say a lot of stuff.
Well, he
bro.
doesn't-
He's seen them ads. He be on Twitter. He's seen them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's a troll.
Yeah, right?
Come on.
As fast as his Twitter fingers work. We
Listen.
know
That's too funny.
he's seen some ads.
He does tweet hella fast.
Yes. He
Oh
who
my.
tweets? As the president, really. Nobody but Trump.
Didn't they all tweet?
Not like him. No.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think Bush.
I don't
tweeted.
think no one monitors his
I don't
tweets.
think that shit.
He has a daily tweet, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely.
Donald Trump. Good
Anyway,
old
speaking
45.
of Trump, when it comes to building the wall between the Mexico and U.S. borders, Trump definitely has one dedicated, hardworking supporter. Hot chocolate.
Wow.
Yes, look at the
Look
kid.
at that little kid.
As the sweltering heat of summer embarked upon the South, thawing out the chill of winter, 7-year-old Benton Stevens from Texas somehow amazingly raised $22,000 selling hot chocolate to help fund a section of the border wall.
Damn, that kid's
Amazing.
in real estate.
Amazing.
Amazing.
But wait, there's more. Benton's parents state that the idea was completely his, but they fully support him. Benton plans to continue fundraising to reach at least $50,000.
Kid is hilarious.
The next generation of white supremacists right there.
Listen.
And you wonder how racism spreads. Like people
Who's out there buying that hot chocolate?
like that. How old is this boy?
Man,
That's the question. Who's out there buying
It's
the hot
hot.
chocolate?
22,000
Who
in
is-
a day.
Who is this boy?
That man?
And how old is he?
Oh my.
In hot chocolate in June.
Exactly.
That's too funny.
So that's how you know.
He in
Racism
Te-
is
he
alive
in
and real.
Texas?
Very
in
in
Texas.
Texas.
In
Very
the South,
alive.
it's hot as I don't know what.
Texas be redder than red, though.
Listen,
And racism is alive and well and being passed on to the next generation of
Absolutely.
future white supremacists.
The poor
There we
little
go.
kids.
That's our
Ben
proof.
Stevens from Texas.
Right.
Kids are brainwashed.
Big ups
That's
to you.
crazy. But yeah, it is a blessing to live in a country where there's free speech. In recent years, however, there has been a lot said with like what we've been talking about with hate. So here's a viral video that's currently trending about a Holiday Inn employee. So Craig No Friday on Twitter, who stood his ground against the hatred and bigotry governing our political climate. Please be aware that there's some explicit language involved.
But you called me a
Well, I
fucking
need to
nigger.
stay here. My mother died.
I understand that, but you called me a fucking
sorry.
nigger.
I'm
No,
sorry.
you weren't sorry when you said it on the phone.
I was. Listen, there was
No,
people screaming
but
at home.
at the end of the day,
I
and
need
the
a
climate
room.
that we live in today's
I said
society,
I was sorry.
I understand that, but it's above me now.
I need a room tonight.
Well, there's the Best Western next door.
No, please let me hear. My daughter's here.
I'm sorry, but I mean, I was on the phone when you said it,
I said I'm sorry. Please, I've had a horrible day
and I had a
today.
horrible time when hearing that.
He won't let me in. Why?
It's above me. She called me a fucking nigger.
Sir, my grandma just
I
died.
understand that, but it's above me.
Please let me.
It's above me. Sorry.
I got my
The
credit
Best
card.
Western is next door.
Sir, the rest of our family
I
is
understand
here.
that, but it's above me.
Please. I
She
apologize.
said what she
sir.
said.
I understand that.
I understand.
She's very...
That is too
Oh,
funny.
I'm sorry, but it's above
That's
me.
my new quote this
Yeah.
year. It's above me.
It's above me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no job.
It's
no
above my
problem.
pay grade. You're not allowed in.
That's too funny.
But please.
The
Look,
Best
how,
Western.
hold on, how,
Oh,
look
man.
how the roles have reversed. We have this white woman begging a black man to be let in. Look
Right.
at that.
That's
I'm
too
trying to
funny.
tell you.
Yeah. And he handled it very professionally.
That woman's
It's
not
above
getting
me.
in
He's
doing
making
that.
some strides in
That's
2020,
a
even
real
if it's a little bit.
convincing argument to get into a hotel. You know what I mean? Wow.
It didn't work.
No,
It's
no,
above me, I'm
not at all.
Okay. Speaking of Twitter, are you aware of the current beef with Linda Fairstein?
Oof, no, it's that beef.
Did anybody see the Netflix series When They See Us by Ava
I have
DuVernay?
not watched
I
it
heard
yet.
about that.
Yeah, people
but
keep
no,
telling me to
definitely.
watch it.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I'm scared.
Oh my goodness. It's about the Central Park 5, they call it the Jarger case in 1989, where 5 black and Latino kids were convicted for basically raping a white woman in the park. Raping a white woman in the park, and they didn't do it. It just it chronicles their experience with the whole interrogation process, the process with being wrongfully convicted and going into jail, and just like the mental toll it takes on somebody who's wrongfully convicted. And Miss Fairstein was the prosecutor. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing posts about her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the victims say they were they claim they were deprived of food, water, and sleep over a 24-hour period, interrogated without parents as minors.
Houseway.
That's what I said. I'm like, so we couldn't get those and they confessed, so we couldn't get those confessions overturned. These boys all 16 and under, convicted of rape, interrogated without a parent in presence, and they all lied.
And no lawyer. Or anything.
No lawyer, no parent had them waive the right
It's
to
a setup.
counsel.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing is, they didn't know that. They just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
One of the boys, I forget which one, he cried to his sister because she had to sign his confession. Please sign it. Please, I want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. Oh my God. That had must be the most heartbreaking moment for me in the first, because I haven't got past the first episode.
Oh, they said episode 4 is tough.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, seriously.
I kept on pausing it. I was like, I
crazy.
can't. My heart. So the question is I mean, you guys haven't seen it, but our viewers on Instagram and Facebook, you can start responding. Is it giving black people PTSD?
Yeah, people said it's a horror film.
Like, it's
from black people.
And also, before we get into too deep in discussion, Miss Fairstein has a book out, a mystery novel. Don't buy it. Her name is Linda Fairstein. If you see that name, don't buy that book.
Burn it.
Sounds terrible.
Burn it. Well, don't, because then you have to buy it to burn it. Don't buy it.
Oh yeah. By the way, we're supposed to see a video of the Netflix clip real quick.
Oh
so,
yeah. Let's see that real quick then. Let's
5 youths were arrested at 96th Street, all between 14 and 15 years of age.
They got him. You can only imagine the pressure to have this crime solved and solved quickly.
First we was all together, then they started to put us in different rooms separately.
What did you do? Who were you with? Who did you come with?
The tone was very scary. I felt like they might take us to the back of the precinct and kill us.
You're not gonna go home until you give up a story.
I told my son, go to the park that night. I feel guilty. I'm telling the guy, I don't know what you're talking about. They're getting a little angry.
And they're like, you know you did it, didn't you?
He had been interrogated for over 24 hours. That amounts to pressure.
These young men were guilty. It was almost unquestioned.
As young people, we have to be more than just followers. We have to be wise and intelligent to what's going on in our surroundings. We need to be able to understand that this is a potential pitfall. And because it's a potential pitfall, if you pick up that end of the stick, you automatically pick up the other side. We have to be able to say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't go down that road. Because the reality of the matter is, you're right. Sometimes you catch yourself in situations and you're at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it may just be because you're hanging out on the corner and you going to get some milk, and then you stop to talk to the guys on the corner that's drug dealers, and all of a sudden you get swept up in a raid because you stopped to talk to guys who you know were up to no good in the first place.
I really became allergic to the idea of calling it Central Park 5. They were given this name by the press, by political forces, and it really takes away their personal power.
Is my mom here?
It's just us. You and us. Who you were in the park with?
I don't know names. I just got lost.
Where did you see the lady?
One lady.
The female jogger was severely beaten and raped. Every black male who was in the park last night is a suspect. I need all of them.
What's going on with my son?
Your son was involved in rape in Central Park.
What?
No, wait a minute. Wait a second.
They saw you rape the lady. I didn't see a lady or hit anyone.
I didn't see any lady.
Kevin.
I didn't see any lady.
I want to see my son right now. Right now.
Whatever they said I did, I didn't.
Man, that was so unfair back then.
That was just a trailer.
Things were different.
I know, right? But did you
dark.
see the desperation and just like the boys?
Yeah.
It's kind of like they were kids. And you have these, and it was a Hispanic detective in there speaking Spanish.
Dang.
To one of the kids, telling him, you know, I know what type of kid you are. And I'm like, ugh. It's horrible. It's horrible. But then again, these type of stories have to be told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't really call it a fun fact, but 45, when he was a citizen, he actually took out a full-page ad calling for the conviction of these boys.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And spent $85,000 on it. $85,000.
Coins.
Listen.
Bring back the death penalty.
But yeah.
That's me. All right. More on the legal front with Harvey Weinstein. He has reached a $45 million deal to settle his sexual assault civil suits. This amount includes $30 million for plaintiff and legal fees. The remaining $14 million will be divided up to pay for the legal fees for people who worked at the Weinstein Company, including board members who were named as defendants in the suit. Good grief. So he had to pay the people to help him cover up the assaults.
I don't really get that. What I also don't really get is, and I'm not standing up for rape. I'm not standing up for, you know what I'm saying, any of that type of stuff. But like the idea that Harvey Weinstein could settle something and Bill Cosby don't get that. You know what I'm saying? He don't even get that opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's one major difference between Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby.
Yeah, no,
what is it? Hey, drum roll, please.
Well,
they definitely use some Hollywood fiction.
It's hard out here.
Damn.
It's hard out here.
Well, the thing about it is that whole notion that if you're black, you have to do everything right, and if you slip up, then it's gonna be 10 times worse for you as it would be for a white man or your counterpart. Let's say that.
You walking on eggshells.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It was true when my grandma was coming up. It was true when my mama was in nursing school, and it's still true now because it's alive and well. You can see the difference how they handled the cases with Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein. Like they kept coming after Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Right. Kept coming after. They were like a dog with a bone.
Take him down. They snatched the world's father from him.
I still think Cosby could be innocent. I'm that crazy.
I'm
there
still
could be a chance.
I'm still open to it.
People
I didn't counsel Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't counsel him.
That's also what they want too.
I could see that man being 100% innocent. You know what I mean? And that's crazy, but I could see that.
Not to take away from any of the victims because I don't know what happened, and I'm not. You know, I don't support
rape. But that man
was
about to big or something
Here
big like that.
We go.
Yeah, he was supposed to buy something big.
Here we go.
And then you know what I'm saying? You stack all these women against him. I mean, of course you're going to lose in 2019 on a jury.
That's real.
You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, you look at that perspective and you're like, this man about to be he was about to own what Jay-Z, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, all three of them under his realm. That man would have done something that very few white people would have done. You know what I mean?
But what
like,
is privilege? He didn't have that.
Right,
you know?
right. He got close. You know what I'm saying? But you never know. I still think that man could be innocent. You know what I mean? There's a very good chance.
I wasn't in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know.
Fairness like Harry Weinstein.
I know.
Here's the thing. The thing is, even, let's say he did do it. It's just, his mistakes are going to come back to bite him harder than they would somebody that doesn't look like him.
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I know Harvey Weinstein disgusting. Like, people say he disgusting.
He probably is disgusting.
Yeah.
But
if you have the right look, we all know in Hollywood, if you have the right look, baby.
For the part.
Right. If you have the right look for the part.
You get the lead role.
Casting couch.
Yeah, I heard that
I'm just saying.
It's not a joke.
Harvey Weinstein is on the casting couch right now.
Oh, bet.
And he's getting away with a lot of it, let me tell you.
Yeah, so...
Oh, yeah. So, you know, all this talk of legal accountability and prosecution makes me think about the peace officer in the Parkland shooting who was recently arrested for failing to uphold his oath to protect the lives of the students and staff. Let's take a look.
Peterson was arrested late this afternoon after a 15-month investigation by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, which announced today Peterson was, quote, derelict in his duty, failed to act consistently with his training, and fled to a position of personal safety while crews shot and killed MSDHS students and staff. The report also states Peterson was, quote, in a position to engage crews and mitigate further harm to others, and he willfully decided not to do so. During the 6 minutes Nicholas Cruz carried out his deadly rampage, Peterson never entered the building. Instead, he hid outside for 48 minutes. Surveillance video from 5 motion-activated cameras show Peterson's response about a minute after the shooting began. Peterson, in the dark green uniform, quickly turns and jumps into a golf cart to investigate. He radioed the sheriff's office with a warning.
We have possible, could be firecrackers. I think we got shots fired. Possible shots fired. 1200 building.
The report says Peterson knew where the gunshots were coming from, but did not investigate the source of them. Seconds later, Peterson is seen running and then stopping to radio dispatch again.
Sure, we get some units over here. I need to shut down Stone Douglas.
Peterson stays across from Building 12, which is out of view, just to the left of the pavement. He directs officers to lock the school down and block traffic.
Make sure there's no pedestrian traffic anywhere on Holmberg Road.
According to the report, Peterson instructed deputies to stay away from the building instead of following law enforcement response procedures that call for eliminating immediate threats.
He was a coward and he froze outside the building instead of going in and engaging the threat.
Lori Alhadeff's 14-year-old daughter, Alyssa, was killed in the shooting.
With him being arrested today, that gives accountability to me and the 17 families.
We spoke with Alhadeff here where the Safety Commission tasked with investigating the school shooting was meeting. Scott Peterson has defended his actions all along. He was booked into the same jail where the confessed shooter is also being held. David?
Manuel Bojorquez leading us off tonight from Parkland. Thank you.
Hey, what's y'all think?
Did he have a gun? No, that's my question. That is my question.
Taser and a baseball bat.
My question is, did he have a gun? I mean, because if he didn't have a gun, how much could he have done engaging somebody that was crazy, one, looking to kill someone, two? He would have just been another roadblock, and he would have quickly been taken care of, and then he would have went on, like, not to take away from, like, the pain and sorrow from anybody. Like, it's a sad thing when somebody walks into a school and starts to kill innocent people. But at the end of the day, did this man have a gun? If he didn't have a gun, he did the best that he could.
His only job,
he did the best that he could in that moment to help those people. The best thing that he could have done if he didn't have a gun.
They said that he stopped them from going inside. He told them not to
he
go
was
inside,
a little odd.
But I don't think any police officer. I mean, me and the
School
police don't
police.
agree. No, we talking about real police who came. Who he stopped from going in. They said he.
What?
Yeah, they said he told the deputies not to go in there instead of following procedures to you know what I'm saying, get at the shooter. But I don't know why the police would be listening to a school officer.
A school police.
So which to me makes no sense.
Because they were scared too. Because they're always scared, right?
I mean,
I fear for my life.
About to say not to go in here.
I fear my life.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I mean, like you said, he don't have nothing on him either.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? From that standpoint, I don't know what he could have done. Because, I mean, he probably won't be able to move fast enough anyway. You know what I'm saying? But
he shouldn't have stopped them from going in.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have stopped them. He definitely shouldn't have stopped the police, but the police definitely shouldn't have listened.
Exactly.
Right.
Like,
who can we trust? Nobody.
He had a gun. He had a gun.
Oh, no.
I retract my statement.
Yeah.
He was a coward.
He was
and he should go to jail.
He said, y'all ain't worth it.
Unless,
basically what he
y'all
said.
ain't worth it.
Wait, unless he was in it, and let's get back to some conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Unless he knew what was happening. Because I mean,
he might have known.
That make a lot of sense. Because if you do have a gun,
if he was friends with that guy, had a little cut of deal.
Yeah, you do call everybody, but then you tell everybody not to go in. That don't make no sense.
But here's the thing: he's school police, so even with the climate the way it is in America, nobody's really. He probably took that job thinking like, oh, nothing exciting is ever gonna happen. Like, so I might break up a couple fights.
But what I'm saying is that if you're looking at the facts, he did have a gun. One, he did call the police too, so that make it look better on him. But at the end of the day, he told him not to go in.
Yeah. That's questionable.
So that's questionable. Why they would? Because why would they listen to him?
Mm-hmm.
You think everybody was in on it?
It's possible. This is America.
You tell top flight security to step to the side. When you really the police, you like step to the side, sir. We're gonna handle it.
This is America, yo.
But that's too far. We have this conspiracy theory. We have to have a reason why they would want to shoot up a school.
I'm telling you the facts.
You're right too.
Because you know the NRA. They're really on this gun thing too.
They be having reasons to shoot schools.
But it's like kind of like a Calabasas situation though. You know what I'm saying? Like I always felt that there was a shooting in Calabasas and there was a shooting another day. And if you notice, right on our iPhones the next day, the first thing was take away guns. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's something shady, but I do think they are trying to disarm us. The whole general goal of the, you know what I mean, politics wants to disarm us and make us feel comfortable with being disarmed. Mm-hmm. And God forbid,
because the same people who killing us is the ones that they're saying going to protect us.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Why do they not
give
want us
away
to
your
have,
rights so that we can protect you?
Why do they not want us to have an automatic rifle? Because if
It's
I
dangerous.
No,
Right. Because you can kill people
in all
with it?
honesty, though,
All right.
in all honesty, though, if you were about to get robbed, would you rather your gun be an automatic AR that's ready to shoot the crap out of the next living victim, or
Wow.
or would
Come
you?
on,
No, I'm talking about if they're breaking in your house.
I mean, Aaron,
You know,
sorry.
I agree with him, though. I
You know,
agree with
if someone were breaking into my house, I would want to put 8 or 9 within 2 seconds.
But here's the
If
thing.
they don't have a gun,
But here's
and
the
I don't
thing.
have
What
a gun.
makes you the difference?
But
What
that's
makes you
not
different
fun.
from the police?
If they don't
then?
have a gun and they
You
break
just
into your
count down
house,
the hands. We got to get back to the
Right,
hands.
right.
Why would you
Gotta
wait
get
here
back
with
to
your
the
You
hands.
win some, you lose some.
My
But
thing
you
is
live.
if somebody was robbing you and you could take a couple bruises to the face, or you could put 8 in them, would you rather put 8 in them?
No,
they
I don't
robbed
want to
your
kill
house?
anyone.
I don't want to kill
and not over
anybody.
You can
possessions.
take off their legs.
I'm not
Professor
killing
X
nobody
style.
about my possessions.
You can take off their legs, Professor X. You don't have to kill them.
Never. Absolutely not.
It's something. It's okay. Whatever it is, I promise. It's okay.
Building a secret gun
I just
at
think
home.
at some point, you look at all those movies like Will Smith's movie, like Your Last Man on Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something scary. If there's some contagion one day and something like that,
Take me out.
And they try
I'm not trying to live
get
like Will
some
Smith.
food
I
or
don't want to
whatever.
do it.
They trying to get back some food or whatever, and they trying to come in the house and they got some nasty disease, and you ain't got that nasty disease. Ooh, we gotta line them up like firing squad.
I mean, that's
you know what I mean?
different than just
I'm
a
not
regular
trying to-
person
but-
coming in your house
But
trying to steal your TV.
I still think
I'm
this
just
has
saying
to do with gun
bioterrorism
control,
is a
though.
very real
We
thing.
need to get rid of guns. That's what I think. I'm
I
with
think
that.
we definitely need
I don't
them.
like guns.
I
Don't
don't-
like in
yeah,
Canada.
yeah,
No
I'm-
one
I'm
has
with you,
guns.
bro.
No one
Without
armed.
guns?
I don't know. Can we check
Without
that
guns,
fact?
what? 'Cause
Can we check
nobody
that
would
fact?
have
If there's
them.
anybody in Canada
I think
on a gun,
I think
can we
Canada's
double check
like-
that fact?
I think my thing with guns is this: if there's anybody that wants a gun to rob somebody, they gonna find a way to get a gun.
That's what I'm
Period.
saying. Like, you
That's
don't-
the problem.
The safe civilian is the one getting harmed by that rule, because those criminals are always gonna have access to guns, no matter
Yeah.
get it from Mexico, Cuba, China, Japan. Anyway, 3D printer, they'll
But it
create
still
that.
would
A
decrease the
3D
amount.
printer.
They're doing
All I
that
need is
now.
one. All I need is one.
They're doing that now.
Nah, here what? If somebody, like you said, if somebody's coming to rob me and they got a gun, because the
Yeah.
difference between me and them possibly is that they're gonna get it illegally, or they, you know what I'm saying, get
They
it from
might
a
have
friend
a
or
better
something.
one.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And then because
Yeah.
of gun control, you know, if I'm a law-abiding citizen, I'm
I
not
might
gonna
have a
I
booth
might,
pistol.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I might not
I
have a
might
gun.
be coming out short.
It's great. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing, and then he come, I'm gone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that I don't think that makes
So I
sense.
definitely
think the
comes down to
idea
me or
about
you.
it,
It's me.
the idea behind it is
guns
to make
always
people
gonna
feel
be there.
safe.
Guns
though.
are always gonna be there. There's a lot of guns in the U.S.
I'm gonna
right
have to
now.
research
The only way, the only way.
I think our producer Bay is back there, and she's gonna check that fact for us.
I'm saying the only thing this gun control thing work is if everybody take the guns away, and that's not gonna happen.
Ooh,
Because,
that'd be a nightmare. That'd be boring.
You could build guns overnight. You know what I'm saying? People know how to do that. So that.
Yeah.
I think the idea behind it though is so that people can feel safe. Because if you look at it, like people are going, listen to me before you reject my ideas, Zach.
I want to hear it.
No, right. People are going into schools, shooting up schools. Some people getting guns from people who have acquired those guns legally. Some people acquiring those guns legally without having mental health checks. So,
That's better. You
But
said that,
they
though.
still
Better you
wouldn't
said that.
get. You think?
but here's the thing: some of these people that have gone into these schools have owned their guns illegally.
Yeah, but say
because
Mr.
they don't
Lin
have
wanted to-
mental health checks.
Hypothetical Mr. Lin wanted to go in and shoot up a school, right? I'm going to my local dealer, Mr. Kim, and
Yeah,
say,
but that's not the case.
Hey, I
We're
want
throwing
my
out
300
hypotheticals,
bullets
though.
in my AR.
Mr.
I'm about
Lin
to
and
shoot up
Mr.
a school
Kim.
right now. I got to get it done. He's gonna say,
But we're
all right,
throwing
here's
out
your sale."
hypotheticals. That's not the case,
But
though. That's not the case.
You know, the thing is, we also got here talking about the reason behind certain type of shootings is that they could be staged.
They could.
And
Yes.
and
I'm not taking it
That's
away.
what
Like,
I'm saying. I do
speaking
think
about
they
it,
staged.
and on that topic, you're just fully, you know what I'm saying, telling me what I want to hear, because you're saying, yeah, because schools are being shot up, we don't need guns, which is what certain people want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Nobody have no guns. You can't protect yourself.
Yeah.
From the U.S.
But
Army
Mr.
or from
Lim
the
was
criminals.
Look, I'm not saying
Agreed.
take away the guns. I'm just saying I would like someone to get a mental health check before they before they are allowed to buy a gun. That's all I'm
Kim's
saying.
gun shop is not handing out mental
That's
health
why we
check.
just need to get rid
He's
of it.
handing out that cash safe, ready to get that bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know where Mr. Lynn
we moving
is.
on. We moving on from Mr. Lynn and Mr. King. So, a retired judge is calling for a special prosecutor to investigate the Jussie Smollett case.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? We still talking
Jussie Smollett.
Oh, Jussie.
Man, that guy.
Why does she have to be black?
So Sheila O'Brien, who you seen in the photo, wants an independent counsel to investigate why charges against the Empire actor were dropped. Why does it have to be a black woman?
Why?
We're trying to find out, you know what I'm saying? But she has also called for her case to be heard by a judge outside of Cook County. O'Brien also called out Cook County State Attorney Kim Fox, accusing her of asserting herself in the case, stating that Kim should use her own money, not tax funds, to represent her in the proceeding as she continues to fight for the subpoenas, deny access to the press, seal court files, and evade telling the truth in this case. So let's see the video real quick.
The trove of documents began with Jussie Smollett considered the victim, but records show detectives start to doubt the actor's story almost immediately. When officers presented Smollett with this grainy surveillance photo, he said, "Those are the guys who attacked me." But when investigators showed him pictures of the men whom they already had in custody, Smollett said, "It can't be them." They are Abel and Ola Osendero, who told police it was Smollett who paid for the supplies used in the hoax and gave them $3,500 to stage the attack. The documents also accuse Smollett of buying weed, Molly or Whitney, slang for cocaine, from the brothers.
I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one.
But while Smollett stuck to his story, police say it had already begun to unravel. He was soon charged with 16 felonies, which could have landed him in prison for years. Though some of the reports are highly redacted, they show how thoroughly Chicago police worked to build their case.
Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career. I'm left hanging my head and asking why.
But some 3 weeks later, prosecutors dropped all charges in exchange for 2 days of community service and $10,000 in court costs. Still to come, authorities say, police body cam footage of Smollett, which should be released in weeks, and footage of the actor entering his luxury apartment after the alleged attack, carrying a sandwich with a noose tied around his neck, telling the doorman, "I just got jumped." Another bombshell in a case still making headlines 4 months later.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
That whole story is comical.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny. But listen, look, black lady, let's talk about the fact that you're retired and you're going after another person of color. Now, I'm not defending his actions, but just much like the OJ case, we don't get away with much. Just leave him alone. Now, I'm not promoting OJ killing somebody, but you know, we got to get one. That's how bad it is out here. I'm just saying.
Killed that girl.
I'm just saying, that's how bad it is out here.
Listen, with Jussie, I just don't understand why somebody would want to fake an assault. Like, it's already hard enough.
That man was making bread,
Like,
too.
people
You are a gay black man.
You are a gay black man.
Is life not hard enough for you?
Why would you stage a hate crime? It's enough of that going on anyway.
He was getting checks from Fox or whatever that network was. He was getting checks.
There are organizations out here that
Big
are
checks.
fighting for equality for not only black people, but also the LGBTQ community. Like, I don't get it. But however, love shall prevail. We know that this month is Pride Month. So we at Young Voices Making Choices want to share a moment with the communities affected by this other heinous acts. This is not a setback for your community, but a reminder that there is support out there. Even though cases like Smollett rarely happen, we believe homophobia and hate crimes are very real and should not be taken lightly.
A stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me.
That was beautiful.
Happy Pride Month, you know what I mean?
Love wins.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that
Are
song,
you guys going to
actually.
any Pride events?
I don't do Pride. I'm sorry. I don't actually do people.
Okay.
No, I don't like crowds. It's just too much going on. Then, like, when you go to some events, it's like boobs and butts and it's a lot of stuff going on.
It reminds me
and-
of Mardi Gras.
Damn.
No, it's Pride too. I be seeing it. And then you got penises swinging. I just, do your thing, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, I might be in the same boat as her.
I'm
But,
gonna
I
chill
mean,
on
I respect everybody. I love all people, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just one of those more introvert types, you know what I mean? I stay in my little corner, you feel me?
Well, them people have a good time, so
Yeah.
everybody at Pride, it'd be happy with colorful stuff on, and I just love their energy.
You gonna
So
get litty
I
out there?
might step
Ooh.
out. You never know. I don't know.
Step out, get litty.
Get litty.
Get extra litty. My guy.
Yo, so, another great show of Young Voices Making Choices. I'm Zach Jones.
Amanda Michelle.
Aaron Chang.
Melissa Mack.
And you can follow us on Instagram at Young Voices MC. You already know. Young Voices Making Choices on Facebook as well.
Hey.
Follow us.
Solid.
Right.
Tag us.
Share, comment, all that.
Hashtag we lit.
Fire,
And join us
fire.
again next Thursday.
Yep.